Welcome to the Amazing Truth Podcast, a podcast where we focus on real issues and have real talk, and as always, provide a biblical perspective. We hope that you will be blessed as you listen.
Hello and welcome to the Amazing Truth Podcast. This is the Amazing Truth Minute.
This is the Amazing Truth Podcast. The Amazing Truth Podcast. Listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and Stitcher. Like us on Facebook at the Amazing Truth Podcast. The Amazing Truth Podcast. Real issues, real talk.
For the Amazing Truth Minute today, I'm going to read a quote by Buddha. And this quote says, "You, yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection." Buddha, you, yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. That is the Amazing Truth Minute.
This is the Amazing Truth Podcast. The Amazing Truth Podcast. Listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and Stitcher. Like us on Facebook at the Amazing Truth Podcast. The Amazing Truth Podcast. Real issues, real talk.
We are back again. As you can see, we are seated comfortably here.
Yes, okay.
You know, have some tea here, because we, you know one thing I like about this our podcast, Kenan, is sometimes you trumpet for yourself too. Every now and then is
Yeah, you got to beat your own drum, man.
it's just it's when the story starts turning,
Yeah.
getting that turn.
It's actually our favorite part of
I know.
these stories.
I
It's
know.
The turning points.
It's
and
just the turning
success
points
stories,
and then
yeah.
the success part of it, and we do that because we don't know where you are, we don't know what you're going through, but that's not the end of the road. No matter how dark the night will be, the sun will always rise.
Yeah.
No matter how thick the storm is, it will at some point it's going to capsize. So when we get to that point where the storms are coming to an end, the light is we're coming to the end of the tunnel. Those are always the favorite moments. So today we don't want to take so much time. We just want to hop into this conversation, right?
Yeah.
So Deno has been here, part 1, part 2. Amen. If you've missed, you know what to do. Pause, rewind, go back, listen, then join here. Last time, Deno brought us all the way how we got into when we went to college, being in college, starts drinking.
Yeah.
He's DJing now. Then gets a DUI, racks up his credit, trying to bail himself out. He has probation for 2 years. He's sentenced for that. 2020 comes around, March. COVID happens. And just starts drinking 24/7. He's just home, working, drinking. That's his mantra of life.
Yeah.
Then comes in 2021, in March. In 2021, he's gotten so deep and so low in his journey that he doesn't feel the worth of living life.
Reaches a point where he even tells his boss that I'm checked out. I don't want to work.
Don't want to work.
It's not working for me.
And the reason he gets there is because he has what? Unresolved
issues.
that he hasn't dealt with. So alcohol is his escape route. And as we keep on saying is that coping, everybody goes through something in life, but the difference is how you cope with it.
Yeah.
So Deno, let's hop into it. So you're at this point where you feel, last we ended where you said, let me take my life. It's not worth living.
Yeah. You tell yourself this.
You tell yourself that. Yeah. Then what? Did you attempt? What comes out of that? You tell yourself, then what?
And then be careful. Don't just tell us you attempted. Don't tell us the means and all of that. Just you attempted.
Yeah, just We don't want to give people ideas.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I don't want to. But yeah, I attempted. I was pretty much done. So I was trying to make a way for me to
To end it,
to end it.
yeah,
You
to
know, I'm not sure exactly. I'm not sure exactly how that idea popped into my mind. You know, but it felt like a resolution, at least something I can be able to control. You know. So I think I contacted my cousin. You know, try to have at least some sort of conversation. You know, trying to tell him, hey, uh, if something ever happens to me, my email is gonna auto send all my credentials and passwords and logins and all that to you, so you can be able to handle anything that
yeah.
just in case. I have something set up automatically to upload. You know,
That's IT. Stage to social behaviors. That's IT.
so I'm ready to be done.
So you're planning your death.
I am.
You're planning.
I am.
Man, it's not.
A lot, a lot of ideas crossed my mind because that day actually I had drunk way too much. I had finished. Used to have a big bottle of red wine. Like almost 2 gallons or something.
Man.
Right. So you're not only having thoughts, you also have a plan.
Yeah.
Okay.
So actually I am looking at something that I'm going to use.
Right.
You know, it is right there. It just needs a little assembly,
Right.
but it's there.
So the reason I asked that, Ezra, is usually if you like, I'm glad you called your cousin, because those are the questions we all need to know. That if someone says I'm having
Suicidal.
thoughts, right? You ask them if they have a plan. And say they have a plan, then you know that you really have to contact, call 911, because they are at a critical stage. And even though they say they have suicidal thoughts, still you have to contact, call for help, because that then you have little time before it happens. So, but then you call your cousin and you're telling him, you're giving them warning signs. This is this and that, and then what happened?
But here's the thing, though. When I called my cousin, I didn't tell him, something is gonna go down. This was just a general talk to cover my base. Because if there's one thing I'm good at, is really hiding what I'm thinking or feeling. Okay. So my boss always used to tell me, "You gotta tell me what you're thinking because you have a poker face. I don't know if you're happy or mad or sad. You say it. It's really hard to read you.
Yeah.
It's true. Like, I can vouch for that, because when we walk out with this guy, you can't tell when this guy is tired or not. So me, I'm there sweating, and this guy has this face. Like, Deno, tell me, are you struggling or not? So I know. So it's true. I've seen that.
So you have your poker face.
Yes. Nobody can tell what's on your mind, what's going on in your head.
Yeah.
And that's your coping mechanism, your defense mechanism, you're hiding.
That is my chameleon face, right? Hiding in plain sight. So then my cousin comes in the next day. Since my mind is so foggy, actually, because of the alcohol, I am not exactly sure what happened that day, leading to the next day.
Yeah. So
It was that bad, with the tequila bottles. I was not seeing straight. I was,
yeah.
everything was blurry.
Keep going.
Then my cousin came through the next day. We were having conversation outside. So this suicide ideation had passed for now. But it was really prevalent. Because I felt like, I stopped yesterday because, when I was trying to assemble my
Your means.
my tools, I kept thinking about my kid. I have a daughter, because most things in life that I've done is always trying to stave bad things away. Not because of gratification that I'm getting, but it's in order to fulfill something, either to have somebody like me or love me, or be, paint a good image despite everything else. It's like social media, right? So fake, You only see the good things, but you don't see
The
whatever
side.
that is
What's underneath,
happening.
yeah.
Right. So that is when you guys came in the next day, because after I was having a conversation with my cousin, I was really getting worked up, I had so many triggers. I don't know which what was what, I was just feeling like I was getting strangled, but I didn't know what to do about it. I started getting mad. I started punching my car. That is when I freaked out my cousin. 'Cause I'm a pretty big dude. So.
When you start
And I was taking jiu-jitsu for a long time, so I'm already a weapon.
and we know your cousins.
Yeah, we do.
We know him.
Oh, my cousin, like, whoa.
I'm glad we can laugh now.
Yeah, oh man.
My cousin was like, no, wait, this is way too much, I was so emotional, angry that I took a djembe, a hoe. I went outside and started digging.
Jeez.
Because I felt like I was about to explode, I was digging, I don't cry, but that time I was just
Bawling.
yeah, Even my sister passed through, is like, what's happening, He saw me speaking with my cousin. He's like, who? My sister's never seen me cry. She's like, what? But my cousin's like, I got this, this is not a team effort, So I'm so worked up, and I feel like I have this energy and fever and anger. I just need to push out. So I go to the backyard and start digging, just to dissipate some of this energy and anger that I had, And then I went inside for something. And then there was a knife on the sink, I was looking at it really, really close, It's like, I was just, it's so easy, like right now, So my cousin told me, like, let's go downstairs. So we went downstairs, and then that's when I think he called you guys, because that point I am not sure what I would have done, okay, because I have never felt like that way before ever in my life. So many emotions just come tumbling down, and without having had a good coping mechanism on how to handle emotions first to begin with, it was a whole new, uncharted territory, a path that is less beaten.
Kenan,
Yeah.
remember that day?
Yeah, so we get a call. We'll say so we got a call from the cousin, and we end up going there, and we see this man, this big dude, this big guy, helpless. I couldn't really smell the alcohol on you, but I could see how you were struggling mentally. Like you had something, there was something controlling you that you couldn't really shake off. And we sit you down, and as always, you were silent. So we're trying to get words out of you, like what's going on, but we couldn't get them. So at some point, I think your mom came down and told her we are fine.
Mom wasn't there.
Mom wasn't there, right?
Yes, he's.
Mom was in Kenya.
Mom was in Kenya. Yeah. So we are there looking at you, and we're like, okay, because we hadn't seen you at that point.
Yeah,
we had not seen you, and to me, I was looking at you, and I saw this guy I could see you were crying. and you were just quiet, beaten, not willing to, it was just, you're just helpless. That's what I saw.
Deflated.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, Kenan, you called me because Paulo reached out to you. It's okay. So it's
Cousin.
Yeah, it's cousin.
Yeah.
So, and we show up there. Man, I'm nervous.
Yeah.
Like, I really don't know because the call, I'm like, I really don't know. But, I think that very moment, one of the things that I look back now and appreciate is it created a space for you to speak out some of those emotions.
Yeah.
I think just being able, and I remember you, Ken, and asking questions such as, tell me how you feeling. And he was babbling, and the whole podcast, what you just shared, is really what he went back to. Like when he was 11 years old.
Yeah.
Like literally went back to that point when he was like, ever since my father passed.
Yeah.
Like I felt like I have to wear these shoes. I felt like I had to be an Ongeri.
Yeah.
I felt like I'm letting everyone down.
Yeah.
And you listed all these things that, I felt like so-and-so has done this and I haven't done half of that. There was all these, I think that moment, what happened is a safe space and place really to process. And it was scary.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was needed.
Right.
It was needed.
Yeah. And
Do you remember anything like when you think now hindsight? How you processed like that night when we came? Would you remember us?
actually move your mic towards
I remember.
good.
I remember when you came in, and then we had a long conversation.
I think you asked us. Did somebody call you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, did somebody call?
Like, okay,
guys.
right.
So, what are you guys doing here? Boy. I mean, we can laugh now, but
we actually said those words.
Yes.
We said we are going to sit down one day and we're going to laugh about this, but we are going to learn a lot
out of it.
So
that was a long night.
Yeah. I remember coming into the house before I went and met you. I asked Paulo, okay, because he has told us what you were planning. I said, okay, now we put everything away. Okay, how is he? So we literally took anything. It's called means restriction. So we took everything that we think would be, and we put it away. And then we came down to see you. So
we were called. Now we can say that we were called.
Or we can answer you that.
We can answer you that now. We were called, right?
So the man we saw that night was a shell of who you are right now.
Yeah.
And that shows how low depression, anxiety, alcohol can take someone.
Kenan, I left that night not knowing what tomorrow will look like.
Right.
Because at some point we had to leave. So we left. How was the night for you?
You took me to the hospital.
The following day. That was the following day.
The following day.
That Sunday we left.
We left Sunday. Monday night.
And then, actually, it was a whole weekend. Saturday, I remember I was at we called us Saturday.
Yes.
And we kind of talked him through the phone, and he knew what to do. I don't know if you went.
I wasn't there on Saturday.
So we decided both of us were not there. So we talked to your cousin on the phone, and he was able to calm you down, and you slept that night. And then Sunday is when now your episode was manic that you couldn't handle. So when you came, then we kind of talked. I think your alcohol went down because I think you are high, and then you slept. I know you can remember, but then the next day comes.
Yep.
Now walk us through that. Am I jumping the gun?
No, you're not jumping the gun. So the next, do you remember the next day anything?
It is hard. It is hard.
So the next day was supposed to work at 8.
Yeah.
So remember, I was supposed to work.
It was supposed to work. So I called your job.
Yes.
And I told your boss that, he's not feeling well today.
Yeah.
He's sick. He's not going to come. I called in sick for you that day. So that was done. And I think I called in because the way that night, the Monday went, also I called for the next 2 days.
Yeah.
So
the whole day, We're just checking.
Monday. You're just
Monday.
checking, yeah.
We're just checking. Monday, we're just checking, chatting back and forth. Then it gets to the evening.
Yeah.
And in the evening, I don't know how we ended up. I think we were chatting then. I think I have still have the message. We're chatting, and the three of us with your cousin were on the phone.
Yeah.
And like, and there's like, oh, I think I asked you a question. And I said, this is what Dano said. And then I said, let me call him. Then we ended up again, the three of us on the call with you now.
Yeah.
But at this point, that's 7 p.m., around 7-ish p.m. at night. So I don't know what to do. Kenan, you get to the call. We start talking you through and like, how was your day? And you tell us that you had suicidal thoughts and you had a plan B. I think the same, you had a plan still for that.
Yeah.
Right?
So you're
Yes,
right. Yeah.
yes. And then you ask the right questions and you're like, okay, we got to take this guy.
And let's put a disclaimer. The reason we are talking about it because he told us he cannot really quite remember
he can
those
remember
details. So that's why we're chiming in. It's not our story.
It is
we're
not
relaying.
And then you're jumping in. You gave us the disclaimer.
No, that is good. Because this is just some gaps, that need filling in.
Yeah.
The best people to fill in are the people on the ground.
So then, when we that night, tell us what you remember or what was happening.
What do you remember
that night? That we
went to the hospital.
And then we can
Went
fill
to the
in.
hospital?
We can we can from there when it started and then the call and the hospital. Then we can chime in and fill in the gaps that we see.
Do you remember the call when the three of us were on the call? We can start from there.
That one I don't remember.
Okay.
What I remember is when you guys came in that night before you went to the hospital.
Okay.
I know.
So we got a call.
Yeah.
And that you're struggling again. You're experiencing an episode, a manic episode, and you're drunk. You are high. Let me say high. So and then we asked you questions. I said you've really and you. The good thing about Dennis is he allowed himself to be vulnerable. He was open. And he was answering the question. He wasn't hiding anything.
Yes, it was very open.
Yeah. So we called, we talked, and he said, "Really, I'm struggling and." I have suicidal thoughts and I have a plan. So we get on the call, we're brainstorming, we're talking, and then we call COPE. We call the Mental Health Crisis in Hennepin County. And then they asked us, does he want an assessment? Yes. Does he want to go to the hospital? Dana said yes.
Dana said yes.
So...
And they said, should they call the police? And we said, no.
Don't call the police because, and again, it's 2020, it's George 2020. Floyd... So
the big dude, the black guy, was high,
right?
So don't call cops.
The other night he was, he was digging, and so
we don't want cops in that situation.
Well, are you able to transport him? Yeah, we said we can. So then that night
I drove to your house.
Yeah,
and actually we were on the phone
the whole time.
The whole time, the house, and then you were very hesitant about going to the hospital.
Yeah, because you thought you knew they would keep you.
Keep you. So the one thing you kept on saying is, will you come with me?
Yes. Yeah.
Will you come with me? And mind you, at this point, we are around 10, 11 at night.
Yeah.
So we're late into the night. So finally I say, yeah, sure, I'll be with you. Yes, we'll go. Yes, we'll go. So finally we get into the car. We drive to HCMC. We get to the hospital. They ask us the questions. And the one thing I remember, Dano, and I think this goes back to what he said, Dano was okay with every single step as long as I was there.
Right.
But now it came to a point where I had to be separated.
Yeah.
Because after they did the assessment, that was the hardest part for me. Because Dano's like, wherever I'm going, he's coming.
Yeah.
So they're leading him to the psych ward and stuff, and I can't go beyond a certain point. That was the lowest. For me, I was like, it's like taking your child to boarding school.
Yeah.
It's like that.
And I knew, I
knew
they're going to keep him because on what the assessment they did. I knew they were going to keep him, and I must apologize. I knew they were going. It was good
for you
to go in. And again, we know there's stigma about inpatient, psych inpatient, but at the point where he
needed that. That was the best thing.
Yeah, you would have lost your life that night if you hadn't been admitted.
And now for me, for you, you knew he was going in. for me, I'm gonna be the bad dude who promised that I'll be with you wherever you go. Right, so I drop him, and I'm driving back. I'm on the call with this is around 2 a.m. We're still on the call, and drive back. The three of us on the call. I get home. Then Deno checks himself out.
And you check himself, you check yourself out because legally they can keep you.
They can keep you, right? So now we're like, we start square one. You know what? But I think.
Do you remember?
Do you remember that? Remember when you came home?
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that I was at the hospital. They gave me the medication. Like here, a lot of pills. I took those. And then of course I had to change into the stripes. Flashback to jail.
Oh yeah,
so
that was
a trigger.
I think that was
like,
a trigger for you.
yeah.
Yes. Because I think did they give you a number to call? Yeah, you call me. They allowed him to call me, and he's like, "Am I in jail?" Because they changed. Yeah. No, now let's not also scare anyone who's listening to this because. Sometimes what is best for your life, like what is really, really best for your life. At that point, they know. I think the jail trigger came back, but where you are, that was the only option. And your mom is far away. Your sister doesn't even know. We came to tell her after we had come back that you're gone. And it was just tense, but it was the best decision. So Deno checks himself. Okay, keep going that part now.
Yeah, so they gave me pills. I feel relatively calm, right? The alcohol that was in the system had already dissipated by now to the point that I was able to actually understand what was going on. Because that whole weekend for me, it was just a blur. Okay, I might remember some of the things. We went to the gym, right?
Oh yeah, So we went to the gym Sunday morning. Was it Sunday? Yeah, Sunday morning.
I remember you telling me that.
Yeah, so we go to the gym. Remember, he's been drinking. He hasn't eaten, hasn't slept. So we go there, we're in the gym, and we're lifting weights. We lift weights, and then this guy stands and he wobbles. Teetering, almost passing out. So I asked Deno, have you eaten? No. Yeah, I can smell the alcohol. So he said, okay, we got to end this. So we go, he goes back home, right? And then the evening.
That's in the evening when we get called.
When we get called.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like I say, a blur, right? But at the hospital, I get the pills, I calm down. It makes me feel like, I'm there. I got a kind of situation. I ask him, so how long are you going to keep me here? They say, maybe 24 hours or something. I was like, I cannot miss work. Right?
Yeah.
I already missed, several days. Yeah. And if I miss one more, I had a big thing I was working on, right? So they allowed me to actually, they called my sister,
Yeah.
So he's like, is he okay? And then my sister was like, no, keep him, So I called my sister back. He's like, I don't want to stay here, okay? I know this is not a conducive environment for me. Yeah. I don't like how I am feeling trapped inside this place, because it's just another memory that I don't want to feel, right? So she said, are you going to be okay, though? I was like, yeah, I'm okay. I'll be fine. I'm good now. So she tells the nurse, yeah, he can go. So they put me in a taxi and take me all the way home,
Following morning, we wake up. They know he's home.
They know he's home. I call the job again. Did you? I think you went to work that day.
I don't.
Yeah, or I called.
I think you called.
I called in for you.
We had not even slept.
Yeah. So we call in. You miss another day of work, and then we set up outpatient therapy.
Outpatient therapy now.
So we call around to see if there's outpatient therapy or drop-in therapy places. We found one.
Yeah,
that's Monday evening or Tuesday evening.
Tuesday evening, yeah.
Right.
It's still the same week. The first 2 days or something like that. Yeah.
So we go pick him up. We go to this.
Remember, it's pandemic time.
It's pandemic time.
Downtown.
Yeah. So we go in. We find this place. Drop in. Therapy session, therapy place. We go in, that it's locked, it's closed. You have to set up Zoom. You have call in advance. And I come close to this guy because I think you rode with me or whatever. And he was smelling of alcohol again. So you have been drinking then. So we say, you know what? Let's get you. Have you eaten? No. Have you slept? No. Let's get you someplace to eat. So we go find a place because we wanted to kind of just be with you
Yeah.
that time. He goes there. The man doesn't eat.
No.
You don't even take your mask off because I think you knew we would smell the alcohol, but we could smell. And we're there. And as caregivers, honestly, we were frustrated.
Oh, yeah.
So we can say that we were frustrated because we're here, and this can be anybody. We were trying. My thoughts were, I'm trying to help you, but you're drinking.
Yeah.
What's with
What's
this?
wrong with you?
And why are you doing this? Can't you see? Can't you see? And most caregivers would have that in
Yeah.
them. But then that's where we had to be. The good thing was there was three of us. We
Alternating. That.
yeah, we fed off of each other's patience.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
Because and then people can see you're going through a part of distraction, but you
They
can't
can't do
see it. And
anything.
you clearly cannot see it. Honestly, you can't. You can't see where you are.
But you know, one thing I liked about Dino throughout that whole period of time is he was honest
Very honest, yeah.
and he was open and he was vulnerable, because I think it's so hard to help someone who's still not ready to open up and speak. And the other thing I'll say to anyone who's listening, man, when you get to that lowest point of your life, be open to get that help. Now, you have to understand that Deno's reason of not being open is because he had a trigger from what had happened in the past. You know, so that contributed a huge deal.
Yeah.
But we can tell you that you'd rather sacrifice 24, 72, 48 hours, but then you save the rest of your 20, 30, 40 years of worth living, rather than just, all that. So that was very helpful, Deno. And we kept on asking you, do you want to see a therapist? Are you ready for that? Are you even willing to come with us? We went through all these places. And, it was stressful those 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
But the one thing that was constant, your willingness, your openness, anything we suggested, you are there. I need help. Pretty much that's where you are at that point where I need help. Yeah.
So go ahead. So what was the help you got then?
Yeah.
Oh, is it too far?
No, we're good now.
So we missed therapy. We didn't get a therapy place. We eat. Was in Indian restaurant.
Yeah, it's an Indian restaurant. Yeah.
Indian restaurant. He barely eats. He carries the food home and then goes and gave your sister. Right? So this guy is walking on fumes for 4 days. I don't think you had eaten
food,
for 4 days. No sleep. Just alcohol. Perfect storm.
So I get home that day. I look around in my bedroom. I don't see any alcohol. Okay, so somebody did a good job of cleaning that out. So I'm pissed off, right? So I go to the bathroom and I need to drink something. So I go over there and I found some NyQuil. Okay, so 2 bottles. I just drink them all down.
Man.
So I'm going downstairs, it's NyQuil, man. My stomach is messed up, I feel like, I'm gonna throw up. When I'm trying to go down the stairs, I fall down actually, right there on the steps, right? Now the wind is knocked out of me, I'm right there, I'm just lying down. It's like, this is as comfortable as any place, So I just stayed there on the floor for a long time.
You slept there. You passed out. Whatever that is.
Whatever it is, I was in and out. It's. I didn't have the motivation or energy to get up, and crawl back to bed. So I'm there. I'm just lying there, turning. Right there on top of you've been to my cage, right? You see the baby's pictures right there. Yeah. So I'm right there, just lying, just looking at that picture, just looking, right? And something a question pops up, and it's like, seriously, what are you doing? How is this gonna be any better for her? I'm drunk from the NyQuil is kicking. My stomach is giving me a whole lot of trouble. But I'm on the floor. I am down. When I say I'm down and out, that is right there.
there's always that moment. There's always that moment. You've had these stories, seen these movies so many times, Kenan, in this podcast, right?
I have.
That's the aha moment.
Yeah.
Like that's, it's not even the night before. It is that moment
Yeah.
that I think they know you got to that place to say, I can do better. Am I wrong?
No, that is exactly, It is terrible to be in that place, that position in life, and I did not feel like, I felt like garbage, even worse than garbage, because I had nothing. I had nothing in life, when it goes back to comparing yourself to other people, I had it good, I had a loving parent who loved me, who did everything for me, I got. It's not like really healthy, but I'm still upright and walking. I'm not missing an eye, on a wheelchair or anything like that. I got my brains. I got people who I can reach out to, but but still, I am. It's
So
that is my lowest.
That was a low. You are literally low.
that's the low now.
So I finished my drinking career with NyQuil.
It's good. I like how you say that.
Yeah, that was done. That was then.
Yep.
So now the next day I had to work on me.
Yeah.
We talked a lot of time about joining AA meetings.
Yeah. I want you to keep going, and then we'll that day we did a lot. That day, now that explains why a lot was accomplished that day, because we called Nystrom and Associates, right? We set up whatever, which you had insurance, so we set up that. Then you went, I think you lost your job after that a few days, and then there was, but you set up your therapy and your psych and all that stuff that week or the next couple of days.
Yeah, so I was able to go in and see this therapist, right? I was unemployed at the time, right? Then I didn't even have insurance until we had to apply for insurance far from through the state in order for me to go through. But before that kicked in, I had to pay for my own pocket. I remember. Right?
That's how willing you are. Like this was worth now. To even pay from your pocket for that.
So fast session in, I'm talking to therapists, I get diagnosed with major depressive disorder and anxiety, It is like...
Bad combination.
Yeah, it's like... And then she asked me, how's your drinking? I was like, it's there, I feel like I'm a professional drinker at this time, So we talk, just get to know each other sessions. Those the beginning days. I think I had 2 sessions, one for 1 week and then 2 the next. Getting to understand me. So that is when talking it through my childhood came across the abandonment issues and why I have never really been able to be comfortable in my own skin in such a way that to work on things that will need to be done, you saw like people pleasing, always saying yes instead of saying no even when it's needed, just because not to offend the other person, right? Always anxious even in public surroundings. Am I proper? What do people think of me? Am I being a good boy? Things like that. Because it goes back all the way. When I was a kid, after my father just died a few months later, I started sleeping with my lights on. Okay? I think this is just general fear came through there, Feel like, my father was gone, who's going to protect me? So I had to keep my lights on so I can be awake in case I see some shadows, I can be able to do something, It got bad that my uncle brought my younger cousin to sleep with me. Just, I can be able to cope, And then I really never understood why they did that until I read the magazine later on. So it has like when people lose their parents or things like when they're young, it's good for them to have another person there, for companion or sleep, things like that. But that back then I didn't know, right? So this has been building in such a way that it gets worse when you become an adult because it's compounding. It's like compounding interest, you know.
Yeah.
The farther, the longer it takes,
The more you get.
yeah, Of course, that shot my self-esteem is all the way down to the bottom, because I had a poor self-image of how and how I was able to fit in a society with all my faults. Who was going to love me? Who's going to care for me other than my family? So that lack of real identity, and how I was able to project myself to the world, did a number of damage in how I was trying to come in terms with myself and build relationships with other people. So that meant even through looking for girlfriend or wife. Now, of course, that is double whammy, because first of all, when I was looking, I was not looking for love either way, so that just is out of the window, So it's a hodgepodge, feelings and emotions, right? But it was a good. Those were good sessions because I was able to understand why I was feeling the way I was feeling, and what was the cause behind it. Because I used to have terrible nightmares, man, all the time. Either like I'm getting chased by bulls and snakes. I'm falling. I'm eating myself. Like literally, my hand is barbecue.
Sheesh.
Just terrible things. I would wake up. My granny told me my granny's my granny's cousin. The one who passed. Yeah. So my granny told me, when you feel these kind of things, this is, you need to wake up and write down everything that you're feeling or what you dreamt about, and then you can be able to look into them in the morning and pray on them, and seek help, because it's easier to remember a dream when you wake up than waiting for it later on, and then try to decipher what actually was going on, And I found all these issues, all these dreams were really tied down to inadequacy, and feeling trapped and feeling isolated and drowning. My subconscious was telling me, dude, this is not the way to live. You need to do better, But my conscious self was like, that is,
Man. Man.
You've introspectively helped yourself look into a lot of things, and you've become, you have a better picture of yourself, and when something comes that you're struggling with, you're able to dig deep down and see, okay, where can I pinpoint this?
Yeah.
And just bring my toolbox and fix that.
And it sounds like therapy was really, really helpful.
Yeah.
For you.
So therapy was a good opening window for me to, because we've talked about me not being able to really feel being judged, being inadequate, closes one from opening up to other people, right? But when I was sitting there with the therapist, this is the person I'm paying, I'm already almost $200 shot here, so I gotta make this work,
Yeah.
So from there on, actually, that's when I was able to really, really get in touch with what was going on,
The emotions.
Yeah. And then the therapist also told me, you need to go to get some meetings, get an AA or go join Toastmasters. Toastmasters, speeches and everything.
Yeah.
Be comfortable enough to talk, actually. Like really use your voice, because a lot of things I always just, my mind is always running really, really fast about thinking so many things at the same time, but lacking the voice
To project it out.
Yeah. So he told me, go join Toastmasters, You can be comfortable just talking about nothing or anything, use your voice. Also, join AA.
Go ahead.
Right?
Uh-huh.
And that was also one of the best suggestions I really ever come across.
AA.
AA works.
That time went to the restaurant, right?
Yeah.
You remember you asking me, have you read this book? And like, you gotta read this. You are past. You gotta read this book.
That was the dinner after.
The dinner after this way now after you've really come back and you're like, man, this book is really the guy talks. I'm like, man, look at who's coaching me now. And I'm sitting there and Dano is just spitting wisdom. Like I'm like this. I actually ended up going and buying that book.
Yeah.
And I was like, listen, I gotta read this book. So, man, that was.
One thing I wanted to say too is that most of our, as Africans, we tend to shy away from therapy or and seeing a psychiatrist and mental health. So I think you sitting here shows that it works. We shouldn't be afraid of it, and it like simply it works. So let's not be afraid of sharing and opening up because it's confidential. You're sharing it because you're the one share, but they cannot share it.
Yeah.
So confidentiality and all that. So it lets, if we can,
we couldn't even share it
simple,
ourselves.
right? We couldn't.
I mean, we couldn't even tell anyone about it. Like it's like we respect your value, we respected all that, and we just hope that one day you'll do this. And I can testify here that all those things that you build in part 1 and part 2. By going to that therapy, now see where you're seated. Yeah. Like it has helped you to get that voice. Now you're able to actually voice it out. You're able to say it out. So, it's Kenan and I don't know how to keep it in. That's what we gotta work on.
We let it out and that's it.
All right, we gotta work on it.
So as I hate to wrap up, but
yeah, we gotta do
that. But where I think Ezra is? Can we go? Where is he now?
Yeah, where are you now?
So
give us the gains now.
So right now, actually, I'm feeling much better in life. Positive outlook than I really ever felt before. And it was also important that I thought I had somewhere here.
You're trying to give us money?
Yeah, no, I'm not trying to pay you.
You don't have to pay us.
Somebody call your sponsors. So I just got that the other day.
Oh, nice. Your coin for
sobriety.
Because
1 year.
And then I gave the other 2 ones I had for a day, 24 hours, I gave them out. Somebody who will need it because it's always about 24 hours, one day at a time.
Yes.
So it has the Serenity Prayer at the back, and then it has at the front, it has a 1, and then it says, to thine own self be true. Unity, service, recovery.
Nice.
I'll let Ezra look at it.
Right? Yeah. So be true to yourself. That's why I love AA because through there I've been able to also speak up. It's a group of people, you speak up, everybody's equal, everybody has the problems. CEOs, doctors, we are there together, equal level, struggling with this thing, right? So that has also actually helped me a lot, because the first time I got my DUI, I stopped drinking, but just because I didn't want to get a DUI.
Yeah.
But this time was different because actually, a few months ago, I was listening to Mrs. Mukua when she came to Ramsey to some. I think it was like Luke. What was it? Luke 11:24 when he says about the spirits, going out,
and then clean your house and 7 of them come in.
Yeah. So that's actually why I love AA itself because it gave it clicked right there and then because. If you stop drinking, but you don't do anything else, it's a vacuum you're leaving for those 7 evil spirits to come back and make yourself even worse.
Yes.
You take that alcohol away, there's a vacuum. You fill it with good spirits. So if God does not fill that vacuum, then the alcoholism, the disease will come right back with a vengeance. Okay, so that really stuck with me, and now that has also improved my relationship with my family.
Nice,
nice. Now I can't get enough of my kid,
Nice.
all the time. She's like, Daddy, let's do Daddy, and it warms my heart because if I would not have been here now, this problem that I had, I could have just kicked the can down the road, like how I've been doing my whole life. I avoid confronting things. I just kick the can down the road. I am afraid to say no to things. I started hating people because now I have too much work to do.
Yeah.
Maybe at work, if nothing
Yeah.
happens, no, that's on me. Think it has helped a lot. Even my neighbor is oh man, look at that, you smiling again. Now you're talking. Because
nice.
I was always glum.
And that's the neighbor that was dropping you off.
Yeah, so that is my neighbor. He has been here for 35 years.
Nice.
So he introduced me to the club, and it was good.
So you're working, right?
It's back to work.
So I did my certification, and then I bumped up my job.
Nice.
Because now when you're not drinking, you have a lot of time and free time to do other important things.
Yes.
So I put that into more studying and more certificate. So and then I got hired by
A very reputable company.
A reputable company.
So good company. Yes. I went in as a level 4 engineer. Really nice, and they also smacked me with the responsibilities of being a manager.
Nice.
For the first time ever,
And that's something you would have never done.
I would have never done that ever before, But now that I have all
Good
this,
call, good point,
all this confidence and all this dealing with my issues. Now you can ask me to move, I'll tell you no.
Work the best side of you.
It is, but at the bottom of it, it's all about God coming into your life, really taking a hold of everything that you do, and make you the better version of you.
Nice.
Because it's thy will be done. Because our will is just always pushing and knocking and trying to force things over.
Yeah.
But with God, serenity player, right? You are at peace.
Yeah.
He got this. Yeah. So you try to do the best that you can do without worrying too much about things that you are not able to do.
And Kenan, isn't this amazing, man? It was worth it that weekend, man. That weekend was worth it. Man, we love you. We celebrate you. I mean, man, it's not about any of what any of us did, but the decision that you chose and what you've allowed God to do in your life. I'm just holding to this coin because I just already said, God grant me serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. We are praying that now you're celebrating 1 year. This will be forever and ever, eternity. That this is what God will grant you with. And speak to someone who's struggling. Speak to someone who's in a journey. What will you tell them? I know we're going a little bit over time, but this is worth it.
Yeah, we're good.
This is worth it. Let's go for it.
Go ahead, man.
The journey, it is a struggle. Okay, sometimes you feel like you are in the weeds. You're lost. You have a whole lot of things just come crashing down on you. But with everything that comes with a journey, there's always an end. So that end is what you choose it to be. Okay? So one of my mantras these days, it's I am what I choose to do, not what happened to me. Right? And if you take that philosophy in life and apply it, you will go a long way, especially when you're dealing with this substance abuse and all the struggles out there, And another thing I forgot to say, something also that helped me, I went to the medical doctor. So I was doing my physical, my organs were just, the doctor told me, if you're drinking, stop right now.
You went for physical?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're like, stop right now.
We'll tell you why we're laughing. Keep going. Yeah.
Stop right now. I'm like, I stopped a month ago, So scans me and tells me, how do you sleep? I'm like, I really don't sleep well. With my ex, used to tell me I used to wake up at night, I would stop breathing. She would wake up worried that I was dead, and then I would start breathing again, sleep apnea. So I went to a sleep study to get that tested. And I almost like 30 or 40 times I would stop breathing at night.
Wow.
It was that severe. That meant I never, for the 30 years of my life and some change, I never slept well, ever.
Wow.
And that was a major cause all contributing factor to depression because lack of sleep, and the body is unable to mend those, everything else with the mood changes and all that. Yeah. So I got a CPAP machine. Now I sleep, I wake up in the morning, I do some push-ups, I feel much better because I got some nice sleep.
Oh,
Nice.
For the first time for a very long time. So that's what I'm thinking. The combination between God and lack of alcohol and the positive mentality and AA and good sleep. All those came together to make me who I am right now.
Make you wholesome.
So the journey is not over for me,
Yeah.
right? Because I was there the other day. Somebody already had a year and 2 months, and they slept, and they had to start the journey again. They were crying. It was, So it is always a journey, but there will be an end if you believe and fight for it. Yeah.
It's powerful. That's powerful. Kenan,
Yeah.
I can afford to smile.
Yeah, me too,
I'm
man.
excited. And one thing that makes me even smile harder is we talk about generational curses. The Bible talks about those. You could have handed this down to your child, to your daughter. Because when your father passed, you never grieved well. You picked some of those things that you're dealing with. That night, if that would have been the story that your daughter hears, what would that mean? So you are breaking the cycle of what you will have handed down in terms of by choosing to live extra day and doing what you're doing. So I want to celebrate you for choosing to be there, looking at that picture there, and pointing us to even a greater picture of God and what He does in our lives. I want to celebrate you for that, and I want to say that you're not done, because greater things are yet to come. And even if you sleep, always remember this. The Bible says a righteous man falls 7 times. Don't stay down. Rise up and keep going. And we all have that journey. So, Kenan.
Yeah, I just want to say that I'm proud of you because you inspire me. I know physically you're doing well. You go to the gym religiously. It's good for your physical health. Your mental health has been remarkable. You inspire me. Your relationship with your kid, it's something I really, really enjoy. Seeing you blossom. And I'm not here city to praise you, but I'm just saying we are all a work in progress.
Yep.
But the progress you've made for the last 2 years, it's amazing. Keep it up.
Amazing, man.
We're praying for you, man. And I just want to say, recovery is not a one and done. It's one day at a time until we are, it's a work in progress. So proud of you. Thank you for coming. He texted us and said, I want to come and share.
Yeah.
And we said, who are we?
I was so excited when I heard that.
I felt a year is a good time to understand what you are going through and actually see the difference. Right. But anyway, I guess one thing I gotta tell the people out there, people we're always afraid is like to open up or to work on issues because you always think somebody has it worse. So why do I have to complain about it? But just because I break a finger, you break your leg. Just because your leg is broken does not mean my finger does not hurt.
Yeah.
It hurts.
Yes.
Because this is my finger.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. And everybody's built different. Okay. Maybe somebody else went through what I did, but did not fall into alcoholism and substance abuse. That does not mean it is justifiable for you to also not be that kind of person. Everybody's built different, right? So you work on you, okay?
Yeah.
As long as you promise yourself that the end goal is somebody totally different than you are right now, Because I think there was a story I read something about this, somebody who wanted to be a millionaire. So he wrote himself a $100 million check and deposited in his own bank account. So that later on he came back and saw the check to remind him how far he was willing to go and if he already has fulfilled his goal.
Yeah.
So it's good.
Right, that's it.
Man.
Man. Yeah.
Thank you all. Thank you all for joining. Want to shout out again, Deno. We really appreciate it. To me, I've been looking forward to the day Deno will share this story, because every time we've come across with people that have reached out to us, the story that always inspires me, I've always remembered Deno. But I can tell people like, yeah, I say you can, because this has been a testament. We here at Amazing Truth Ministries, we don't know it, we don't have it together. We're not struggling. But if you call, we might point you to someone. We might reach out to someone. We are not expert. Kenan is a therapist by profession. I joke a lot about him, but I'm serious. Black excellence. Love my brother to death. We'll be always there to at least guide and support. I'll give you prayers, we'll combine together. They know him sharing is saying, I'm willing to be reached out to support if I can, call, talk to someone. If you have ideas how we can support and help other people there, let's build something that can help our people.
Right.
Let us create that safe space and space. And so we're going to let you know that in May, something will be coming all Saturdays afternoon.
Let's go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and
in the month of May, Saturdays afternoon, you're going to see this in all our posts and everywhere. We are going to be having a drug awareness month, a substance abuse and mental health awareness month. And every Saturday afternoon, we are actually going to be doing a 2-hour series where we'll talk about all these things, and it's going to be live. So we'll let you know the specific details as they're coming through, because these could be any of us. And even though you might look at the no story, what makes you think in the future you won't be there?
Yeah.
So let us walk this journey together and let us pray for each other. Thank you, guys. I think we can end this series here by saying, praise be to God. There's no other better way to end it.
Yeah.
That has been our time here at Amazing Truth Ministries. The question I have for you is, why wouldn't you subscribe or share for someone to get this good news? Thank you all.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Amazing Truth Podcast. We hope you were blessed as you listened. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. God bless you, and see you on the next one.